Pastor Ed here with Daily Devotions for Saturday, January the 6th, 2024, as we wrap up this rather abbreviated, shortened week because of the holiday, but talking about New Year's resolutions. The reading today is from the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 5. And the one who was seated on the throne said, "See, I am making all things new." And he said, "Write this, for these words are trustworthy and true." We've seen this week that this idea of newness is a part of our Christian faith and life and hope, that we're constantly have the opportunity to change our lives. And so that kind of does fit in with New Year's resolutions, but New Year's resolutions tend to be a lot more shallow and individualistic, and maybe, self-centered. Young man was once at a New Year's Eve party, and he asked his friend for a cigarette, and the friend replied, "I thought you made a New Year's resolution to quit smoking." And the young man answered, "Well, I'm in the process of quitting. Right now, I'm in the middle of phase one." And the fellow said, "Well, what's phase one?" And the young man responded, "I've quit buying." It's just bumming at that point, right? A fellow by the name of Jay Winters points out that almost every culture celebrates the new year. Ancient Romans celebrated with the birth of Janus, the two-faced god who could look back into the past but also forward into the future. They exchanged gifts not because they were overjoyed with each other, but as a method of bribery so that their friends would forgive you. Your friends would forgive you for the stuff that you had done wrong to them the past year. Chinese New Year, he writes, is typically celebrated with fireworks to scare off evil spirits from years past so that you can start your new year with a fresh start. Judaism celebrates Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, looks for the forgiveness on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, 1 week into the new year. And Christianity, well, as he points out, we haven't had much to say about the new year, except for the fact that we decided that the Gregorian calendar was the way to go and that January 1st would be our new year. We have no special mythic beliefs that are strictly Christian, though, he says, that all Christians celebrate. But we do have a new year, he writes. It's just that it doesn't necessarily happen on January 1st every year. It happens in our lives each and every day. And yet at the same time, we're looking for it to happen in our lives in one grand celebration at Jesus' return in the beginning of a year that will end all years in eternity. There's a great story. I've told it many times before, well, numerous times before, a few times before, about New Year's Day, 1929, where Georgia Tech was playing UCLA in the Rose Bowl. And in that game, a young man named Roy Riegels, who was the team captain, recovered a fumble for UCLA that had been fumbled by Stumpy Thomason from Georgia Tech. Well, picking up the loose ball, he got kind of twisted around, lost his direction, and he ran 65 yards towards the wrong goal line. One of his teammates, Beanie Loam, ran him down and tackled him just before he scored for the opposing team, and he was there after forever, dubbed Wrong Way Riegels. Well, several plays later, the Bruins had to punt. Tech blocked the punt, scored a safety, which demoralized the UCLA team. And that strange play came in the first half. So at halftime, the UCLA players filed off the field into the dressing room. As they sat down on the benches and on the floor, Riegels put a blanket around his shoulders, and he sat down in a corner and just put his face in his hands. Well, as you know, football coaches usually have a lot to say to their team at halftime, making adjustments and also just to encourage them. And that day, Coach Price, though, was really quiet, their head coach, and he was trying to decide exactly what to say, in particular what to do with Roy Riegels. Well, when the timekeeper came in and announced that there were 3 minutes left before the second half, Coach Price looked at the team and said, "Men, the same men that played the first half will start the second." This is in the days when players played both sides, offense and defense, didn't come out except for injury, basically. Well, all the players got up. They started back out onto the field, all but Riegels. He didn't budge. And the coach looked back and he called him, "Riegels, didn't you hear me, Roy? The team that played the first half will start the second." And Roy, wrong way Regals, looked up at his coach, his cheeks wet with tears. Coach, he said, I can't do it. I've ruined you. I've ruined the university's reputation. I've ruined myself. I can't face the crowd out there. And Coach Price reached out, put his hand on Regal's shoulder and said, Roy, get up and go back. The game is only half over. Well, all of us have run the wrong way on more than one occasion. But because of the forgiveness that is offered us in Jesus Christ, the game, life, is not over. We have an opportunity always to change course, to draw near to God, draw near to his grace, and find that God's grace is drawing near to us. And so I want to close our discussions with a piece that was written, it seems like a fitting conclusion. It's entitled, I Am the New Year. I am the new year. I am an unspoiled page in your book of time. I am your next chance at the art of living. I am your opportunity to practice what you learned about life during the past 12 months. All that you sought and didn't find is hidden in me, waiting for you to search it, but with more determination. All the good that you tried for and didn't achieve is mine to grant when you have fewer conflicting desires. All that you dreamed but didn't dare to do, all that you hoped but did not do well, all the faith that you claimed but did not have, these slumber lightly, waiting to be awakened by the touch of a strong purpose. I am the new year. I am your opportunity to renew your allegiance to him who said, behold, I make all things new. I think with New Year's resolutions, we think that we can make things new. We can make ourselves over. We can make ourselves better. But the bottom line, and we've seen that people fail at resolutions, and even the people who keep them aren't any happier than the people who don't keep them. The only one that can make things all things new is God. And that's why we can trust God with our lives and with our future and with our very being. Well, hope you can join us for worship as always tomorrow. We're back to our normal schedule of a traditional service at 9 o'clock and a contemporary service at 11, both being live streamed and also then being recorded so that you can watch them on our YouTube channel throughout the week. So hope you'll be able to take one of those opportunities to join us for worship, and hope you have a great day today. We'll see you again next week. Until then, take care. Bye.